Pam Bondi's behavior, her meltdown, her temper tantrum before the House Judiciary Committee yesterday was so utterly repugnant and unprofessional that if you acted like that at your job, you would have been canned on the spot. But for some reason, we have lower expectations for the Attorney General than we do for literally anyone watching this show right now. And so it got so bad that it's not just like people like me that are saying she should resign, that she's doing a terrible job. There are even some MAGA people that are like, this is getting pretty bad. Here's a sample.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
Not a complicated question.
Well, I guess it is for you because you have a law degree and those are privileged. Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump, all of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump? Nothing about helping crime in her district. She's not even worth getting into the details. Excuse me, I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
and I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Arlen,
you don't get a reclaimed time
this is bigger than Watergate.
When I don't answer a question the way you want.
But we're going to move back to you.
I bet we are.
Yes, of course, because you're here to testify.
Yeah, I bet they are going to move. You're the person. It's them and it's you. It's occasionally going to be you. That's sort of how these hearings work. But that was embarrassing. That was really embarrassing. And I know that a lot of Republicans they're prone to look at that and think, oh, she was strong. Or I mean, look at that. She was pointing and she was saying bad stuff to Jamie Raskin, who I hate for some reason that I can't clearly articulate. But not every Republican was actually won over by that. Kyle Rittenhouse came out of that hearing saying Pam Bondi needs to resign. And when you've lost Kyle Rittenhouse, well, I don't know as a general principle what that means, but it's certainly not what she was hoping for when she did that wild gesticulating performance. Nick Fuentes didn't like it. And she's super white too, so he's prone to like anything that she says. Eric Erickson, not a big fan. Tim Pool was mildly critical of her performance. Yeah, that should be enough to get rid of her. But of course, the reason that she did all of that is because Donald Trump wants her to put her dukes up and start throwing wild punches and everything. So yeah, even Mary Trump acknowledged that. That's what she's there to do. Not to find justice for the victims, not even to pretend that they care about justice for the victims, but just to seem like she can fight it out with the Democrats, even if it involves some absolutely wild lying. For instance, she told Congress that Maxwell was not transferred to a lower level facility. After originally saying that she wasn't really familiar with it, she said, no, it's the same level of security. It's not. There are literally parts of that prison where there's no fence. It's the honor system that you're being kept in on. They bring in animals for animal therapy there. That's not generally, I watched some Oz back in the day. There were no goats visiting. You were not playing with baby kittens. That was not an actual thing. And we have something that perhaps is even more, I don't know, distressing, worrying than all of that. But Luke, I wanted to give you a chance to jump in. It was a long, crazy day of testimony. What do you make of it?
It was crazy. Obviously set aside for a second the disgrace of that performance, given the subject matter. It was also just cringy and embarrassing. You know, like in high school TV shows, there's like the it girl who walks up and is the antagonist and is bullying the other girl. And then the it girl bully has around her like a whole entourage and she says something. Are those your shoes? And the people behind her like, yeah, owned. It's like Pam thought that's what was gonna happen, that people would be like, oh, burn. Oh yeah, Raskin's a loser. But you could tell even the crowd behind her was like, what is she doing? Why is she acting like this? Why is she making this some roast? And then on a more substantive level, I'm sure you saw this photo, but there was a photo of her like refusing to look at the survivors as they were standing up and raising their hands. And that's gonna be Pam Bondi's legacy, is her literally refusing to turn around and look in the eye. And she's been refusing to meet with the survivors and prioritizing notes as to how she's gonna insult a particular Democratic lawmaker instead of actually getting justice.
Yeah, no, she should have brought her entourage. She should have, I don't know, hired Lacey Chabert or something to stand behind her. It was a mistake to not do that. You just made
literally snot come out of my nose.
Sorry, I apologize.
Made me laugh.
And yeah, the unwillingness to turn around. Like, I feel like they've sort of gotten away from what all of this cover-up was supposed to be branded as, which is, we're the true protectors of women, but we also know that Trump didn't do anything. And they have just gotten so focused on the pretending Trump didn't do anything that they've gone so hostile against the victims of Epstein, which that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be pretending to work for justice. They haven't pretended that in literally months. Pam Bondi has a page, as you pointed out, of notes on attacks and vicious little quips against Pramila Jayapal and Jamie Raskin. I've never seen her say anything like that against Epstein or against Ghislaine Maxwell. She hates Jamie Raskin more than she hates the rapists. And I feel like at some point, her priorities gotten a little bit out of whack. But it isn't just the notes, it was worse than that. I wanna jump now into this. One of the darkest, and I think really most worrying parts of Pam Bondi's testimony before the House Judiciary Committee yesterday was when it was revealed that they have apparently been spying on members of Congress, desperately trying to find out what the hell was going on with Epstein. Take a look.
The image that you're looking at right there shows on the inside front cover of that binder a one-page sheet that at the top says Jayapal Pramila search history. One possibility is that the Department of Justice can look to see how Congresswoman Jayapal, having some sort of like username, what her search history was with respect to it, and be prepared to address questions about what she saw in those files, in addition to any other quote unquote opposition research that the Attorney General had on her.
Okay, so they apparently, when they brought in the members of Congress to 3, like, I don't know, IMAX or whatever, and let them look at the documents, only there, now you can't do it remotely, you just have to do it there. They were also recording what they were searching for. And the person in the interview laid out one possible, maybe arguable, like good reason you would do that, which is, well, I know I'm gonna be asked questions about all this, and there's obviously so much, I wanna be prepared, I wanna be helpful, because I'm a serious person, a serious lawyer, and I'm taking this super seriously, so I want to bone up on all of what they searched about so I can answer their questions. But nobody believes that's what she was doing. Nobody thinks she was preparing so she can be helpful during the hearing. She didn't want to answer a single goddamn question. So that possibility that was laid out in the video that's gone. We're not pretending. We're not doing a clown show where we pretend that that's what she was doing. No, they are watching to see what they're looking for, because they do have an actual goal in this. The DOJ has a goal. It is not bringing down co-conspirators. It's not tracking down pedophiles. It's not protecting women or finding justice or anything like that. It is protecting people. It's protecting primarily Donald Trump, but a lot of other people too. Some of the billionaires, some of the donors, foreign politicians, leaders in business, those sorts of things. And so they're watching to see who is being checked up on by Pramila Jayapal, by Jamie Raskin, and let's also be clear that video referenced Pramila Jayapal's search history, but as you'll see in this clip, it was not limited to Jayapal. Take a look.
It is a violation of the separation of powers for them to essentially be monitoring our computer searches on the Epstein file. So I think it's outrageous that they would do that, and it's Orwellian, and we're going to have some more to say about it soon.
Do you know if Congresswoman Jayapal was the only person?
We have reason to believe that it was happening to everybody who went over there, that they were monitoring everybody's computer searches.
And he gives no indication that they were told ahead of time that that would happen. So I feel like that definitely is something that needs to be investigated. And Luke, it really feels like Pam Bondi has spent more time and effort investigating Pramila Jayapal than she has Epstein's co-conspirators, which is really sad. What do you think?
That tells the whole story. What's the priority here for her? As we've referenced now, it's not giving good answers. I mean, she's done so many things wrong now that this might be a lost cause, but she at any moment could decide to stand on principle and the principle of justice more specifically and transparency. And I think Democrats wouldn't even force those hearings to descend into chaos and name calling at all if she was giving good substantive answers. But as you referenced, there's something that's so indicative of this administration's priority on this issue for her to literally be spending time, as they tell us, they just didn't have enough time to release the documents in accordance with the law, which they still haven't released the majority of the documents. They don't have enough time to protect the victims' identities. They don't have enough time to realize that they're redacting, obviously purposely, perpetrators' name. People who are labeled as co-conspirators are having their identities protected. Oh, that was a mix-up. Sorry, it's just so many documents on time. But we do have time, to have staffers go through and build for Pam Bondi like OPPO research, and maybe just direct that time towards what we're asking you to actually investigate. And then another really indicative clip from this broader hearing was her saying, I don't know if you saw this, she said, you all should be apologizing to President Trump for attacking him. And then at one other part, she said, the reason that you're bringing this up, her point was, I can't remember the exact wording, but it was essentially the reason you're focusing on Epstein is because the Dow Jones is doing well and you're trying to distract from that. And it's like, I don't even know, I can't even put myself in the mindset of what world she's in where she thinks anyone, right, left, or center, hears her say stuff like that and thinks it makes any sense at all.
Yeah, and I can't imagine one right winger who would be like, I really do think that Biden and Harris were involved in this stuff, but oh wait, my 401k just went up. Oh, I don't care about that anymore. Who needs justice for elite pedophiles? I'm gonna retire well. No actual person thinks that way. And Pam Bondi doesn't even think that way. That's just, she needs some diversion. She needs some tactic, and it's a pathetic one. It makes her look clownish because she's not actually good at this. When you choose all of the people around you based purely on loyalty, you're not choosing based on talent, expertise, experience. By definition, you're choosing based on loyalty, and that's what he's done. And the lawyers suck. She's basically Alina Habba. That's all she is. They're all not good lawyers. They're not good researchers. Think about it, and I'll end on this. She is the AG. Can you imagine the feather in her cap that it would be were she to find and take down an Epstein co-conspirator? Oh my God, it turns out this billionaire I did an interview with one of the survivors, and then I went into the files, I started talking to people, and it turns out these people also committed sexual assault and I took them down. Think about it. Oh, our regime is so good at fighting crime or whatever. Is she even acting like that's a thing she would hypothetically want to do?
And it'd be so easy because she has the guy's number.
Exactly. Yeah, she has dinner with him all the time. No, like that is what a person who actually cares about justice would be going for, and she is not even pretending because she can't. She can't because Donald Trump does not want the government to legitimize the Epstein thing. He doesn't want any of them to act like this is a serious issue. You do not turn around and look at those victims, okay? You do not pretend that they are humans deserving of respect or compassion, because that would hurt Donald Trump's fifis, because he doesn't care about them and he doesn't care about the issue, and he is super, super scared about what might come out. And so that's why you get this ridiculous performance from a Pam Bondi.